ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So this is a very wonderful example of Devahuti, how she served an elevated personality like Kardama Muni, and the result of that was that spiritually and materially she was benedicted. She got all that she had desired. So here it is very nicely explained. Kardama Muni is very much satisfied with the kind of service which she has rendered. So Kardama is saying, Tushtoham Adya. Adya means today. So today I am very, very pleased with you. Tushtoham. Manavi Manadayaha. O daughter of great personality Swayambhuva Manu, Manavi. Manadayaha. Actually, you are coming from a very respectable family. You are to be respected. So, very respectable. So, Prabhupada is translating. O respectful daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, today I am very much pleased with you. So, how Kardama Muni is pleased? For what Kardama Muni is pleased? That also he is saying, Shushrusaya Paramaya. Paramaya means very excellent, superior, very great. Paramaya Shushrusaya. Shushrusaya means loving service. So because of your excellent loving service, I am very pleased. Paraya cha bhaktya. And because of your great devotion, I am very pleased. So two very important things. Shushrusaya Paramaya, excellent devotional service, and Paraya Bhaktya, that is very, very excellent or great devotion. Then Kardama Muni is also recognizing the great sacrifice which Devahuti has done in order to please him. What did she do? Yo dehinam ayam ativa suhrit sadeho. That body, sadeho, yo dehinam ayam ativa suhrit. This body which is very, very dear to the embodied. That means for all of us, this body is very, very dear. Actually, that's how we find. Sometimes we think others are more dear to me, but actually it begins first from the body. Aham. Anything related with the body may be dear, but first the body is dear to all of us. Just like sometimes we find the mother can go to the extent of some time, killing the child in the womb. But it is very difficult to take away this body, but we can take away somebody else's life, even who may be connected to us. So this body is very, very dear to every embodied living being. Whereas what Devahuti has done, she has completely neglected the upkeep of this body which is very dear to everyone. Na Avekshitaha, avekshitaha means not taken care of. Samuchitaha, properly. You have not taken care of your body, health properly. Then what she has done? Shapitum madarthe. You have actually utilized this body for my mission. So Prabhupada is translating on my account. So Kardama Muni said, O respectful daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, today I am very pleased with you for your great devotion and most excellent loving service. Since the body is so dear to embodied beings, I am astonished that you have neglected your own body to use it on my behalf. So in his service, the body was completely used, and on her own account, she neglected her own health. Actually, this is a very great way of serving an exalted personality like Kardama Muni. What we can learn from this example is very interesting. So Prabhupada is saying there are three very important things which she did. Very faithfully, like a chaste wife, she served Kardama Muni with great devotion, with great respect, and with loving service, neglecting her own body. So Prabhupada is saying, what can we conclude from this? We can conclude she did not even bother about her own sense gratification. It's a very important point. In order to satisfy Kardama Muni, she neglected, because when somebody is having sense gratification, he'll be very healthy, he'll not be lean and thin. Only when somebody neglects his own sense gratification, then this will be the condition in which Devahuti was. So, Prabhupada is saying, even with her own husband, she did not bother to have sense gratification, sense pleasure. She completely neglected any kind of sense pleasure to derive from Kardama Muni. And Prabhupada is also pointing out something very important, that Kardama Muni was specially engaged in devotional service. So, this is a duty of a faithful and a chaste wife, that she should assist and help the husband, especially if the husband is engaged in Krishna consciousness. And as a result, Prabhupada is saying, Kardama Muni amply awarded and rewarded her. So, spiritually, she became completely free from material existence. Especially, we will see Kardama Muni will award that which is actually meant for liberated people. Abhayam. One becomes completely free from this bhaya of this material world. This material world actually is filled with bhaya at every step. And then, not only that, all kinds of material facilities also were rewarded by Kardama Muni. And he satisfied her desire for a long time to give her that pleasure and material comforts. So, she was rewarded amply, materially and spiritually. So Prabhupada is saying, this is the difference. If one serves a great personality like Kardama Muni, then there is complete benefit like this. And one cannot expect that from an ordinary husband. So it is different. Somebody chastefully and nicely serves an ordinary husband, then one cannot expect this kind of rewards. But because Kardama Muni was so exalted, and she served, with these kinds of different qualifications, with these kinds of what we are seeing, Shushushaya Paramaya Cha Bhaktya and that is why she was amply rewarded. So, this is one very important thing, how one should actually serve our superior or an exalted personality, and especially our spiritual master. It should be just like Devahuti served Kardama Muni. There is a very nice, beautiful instructions given by Prahlad Maharaj to his demoniac friends, to his classmates. There he says two very important points. He says, if we want to be free from this material existence, we have to get free from the fruitive bija, this material world's bija, which starts our material existence and which keeps on growing life after life. We have to burn this bija. Simply cutting off the branches, all those things will not do, because if the bija is there, it will keep on fructifying. So this material bija has to be first of all terminated. And then in the next instruction, he explains how this can be terminated. He says the devotional service to the Lord begins by serving the spiritual master with excellent loving devotional service and with great devotion. The same words. Shrushrushaya paramaya paraya cha bhaktya. So Prahlad Maharaj says, actually the devotional service begins by serving the via media, the spiritual master, with loving devotional service, excellent devotional service, and with great devotion. So the verse is like this. So first he says, you should take to devotional service to burn this bija of this material existence. Tasmad bhavad bhi kartavyam karmanam trigunatmanam bija niharanam yogaha pravaho paramo dhiyaha. So he's saying, therefore, my dear friends, O sons of the demons, your duty is to take to Krishna consciousness. So he's saying, Prabhupada explains what is this meaning of bija nirharanam yogaha, devotional service to the Lord, which will completely destroy this bija, this material bija. So, which can burn the seed of fruitive activities artificially created by the modes of material nature and stop the flow of the intelligence in wakefulness, dreaming, and deep sleep. In other words, when one takes to Krishna consciousness, his ignorance is immediately dissipated. So once one takes to devotional service, automatically all ignorance, this bija, the bija of ignorance, actually which is the cause of our material existence, will be completely terminated. So in lecture on this shloka, Prabhupada very beautifully explains about what is this material bija. So very interestingly and in a very, very brief and concise way, Prabhupada explains what is material bija. We all know why our material existence has started. Why our material existence has started? What is the main reason? forgetfulness of Krishna, that is okay. Forgetfulness comes later. First we desire something. Yes. To be independent of the Lord. To have that lording tendency. To be independent. Actually that is called material bija. So Prabhupada says, the propensity to rule over this material world better or greater than others. Somebody is thinking, I want to be big businessman, big politician, big personality, big leader. This is actually the material bija. We want to dominate, we want to lord over, we want to compete, we want to be greater, greatest. Actually, that is our material bija. Prabhupada explains, devotee actually, when he comes to devotional service, he is not behind all these things. He gives an example. Prabhupada says, somebody calls a devotee by ill names, or somebody calls devotee with great names. Oh, you are very learned, very great. Or somebody criticizes a devotee and calls him by ill names. Prabhupada says, devotee has nothing to do with both of them. Not that he becomes depressed when somebody calls him with ill names, nor he becomes excited when somebody praises him. So very beautifully, Prabhupada says, how does a devotee think? Prabhupada is saying, devotee thinks, what shall I do? Taking this Brahmanism of greatness of this material world. Somebody says, you are a great learned scholar, you are a great Brahmana. Bija Nirharanam Yoga. This Bhakti Yoga is called killing the seed of ruling over this material world. Devotee is not interested. What am I going to do with all these different kinds of designations somebody may give me? I am great, or this is there. So devotee is not actually behind all these things. In the spiritual world, Prabhupada explains, actually, this kind of so-called I am great is not existing. Rather, devotee thinks I am most insignificant. The more a devotee advances, the more he becomes humble. And Prabhupada says the most humble devotee of the Lord is Radharani. Most humble devotee. She is the greatest of the devotees, serves Krishna, the greatest of all the gopis, but she considers that all other are serving Krishna better than me. See? The more one becomes advanced, the more one becomes, actually this is a sign of a Mahabhagavata, we all see. He sees, except for me, everybody else is advanced. Everybody else is nicely engaged in service of Krishna. In material vision, what do we think? I am serving greatest. I am doing so much services. No. That means we are still having lot of material propensity. If somebody is thinking in his mind or glorifying himself, I am doing like this, I did like this, actually that is not a sign of advancement in devotional service. The more one advances, the more one realizes he is very insignificant. Rather, he sees others serving so nicely. So Prabhupada says this is the difference. Devotee is not thinking of lording over, I am greater. He thinks I am the most insignificant, smallest. So this is the vision of a Mahabhagavata. So this yoga, this Krishna consciousness is called Nirharanam, Bija Niharanam. One has to destroy this bija. So in the next instructions, Prahlad Maharaj explains how this is possible. So there he says very nicely, Guru Shushushaya Bhaktya Sarva Labdha Arpanena Cha This begins by Guru Shushushaya, by serving the spiritual master with love. This is very important. It is not just said just service is required, because service can be of two types. Official service. Somebody is paid money, and then when somebody serves, actually is not serving the person, he is serving money. Isn't it? Let us say we keep some servant. He is not serving us. Somebody is cleaning the temple, somebody is doing this. Okay, because instead of doing some other service, somebody is doing this service. He will get definitely the result. But actually one is serving money. If he gets better money somewhere else, he will leave this service and go away. Isn't it? So not that kind of service, not that kind of official service. Shushushaya bhaktya. Prabhupada is saying, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, with bhakti, with love, that is what is actually important. So, in that lecture, Prabhupada explains this very nicely. The word Guru Shushushaya means a disciple should serve the spiritual master as a menial servant. As a menial servant, one has to serve the spiritual master, not like a paid servant. And then, next line, Prahlad Maharaj explains, Sarvesham Sarva Labdha Arpanena. One should sacrifice everything for the sake of spiritual master. This also we find here with Devahuti. She sacrificed her own body, her own health for the service of Kardama Muni. So similarly, a disciple should be ready to sacrifice everything for the service of spiritual master. So Prabhupada very nicely explains this. What does it mean? He says there are three things one has: Praner, Arther, Dhiya, Vacha. These are the four things one has. We have our life force, Arthe, somebody has some money, Dhiya, intelligence, and Vacha, and our words. So, the spiritual master should be given the best of the service with our senses, with our life, with whatever we have in our possession, with our intelligence, and with our words. So everything should be dedicated to him. So Prabhupada gives the example, just like Bali Maharaj. Everything, when it was required, he completely gave away to the Lord. So Sridhar Swami, he comments very nicely on this verse. Prabhupada explains this, that what exactly does it mean. So Sridhar Swami says, Sarva Labdha Arpanena means Sarvesham Sadhyam Atmanena. This is very interesting. You see, when we give service to superior and when we give service to inferior, there is a lot of difference, one should understand. When we give service to inferiors, it is a kind of daya. It's a kind of, we are doing him some kind of benefit from our side. When we are serving the superior, actually we become benefited. It's not daya. One should not think, now the spiritual master has become dependent on my service. He requires my service. No. When we serve the superior, it should be done with the greatest of respect, That is what Sridhar Swami is saying. What does it mean? How to serve the spiritual master? How to sacrifice everything for the sake of spiritual master? So he is saying, Sarvesham sadhyanam atmanena. Sadhya means respect. Whatever highest respect you have got, that should be offered to the spiritual master while serving him. So that is how we have to serve the spiritual master. So this is a way that loving devotional service and excellent devotional service, just like Devahuti served Kardama Muni, similarly an exalted personality, especially the spiritual master, should be served like this. Another important thing we are seeing in Devahuti's quality is Dehinam ativa suhrit sadeho. This deha, this body which is very, very dear to everyone, actually she completely neglected. This body, why actually it is so dear to us? Somebody may question this. Why this body is so dear to us? This question was put by Parikshit Maharaj to Shukadeva Goswami. That was, of course, in the context of Krishna. So the question was that actually, for one, this body is very dear. Not only the body is dear, all the expansions of the body, they are also very dear. But they were all astonished. Parikshit Maharaj was very astonished to see that when Brahma stole away the calves and the cowherd boys, and Krishna expanded himself into all those calves and cowherd boys, then there was a complete difference in whole of Vrindavan. Earlier, everybody was so attached to Krishna, they would neglect themselves, they would neglect even their own children. All the cows, they would neglect their own calf and they would be more attracted to Krishna. Similarly, all the mothers in Vrindavan, they would be more attracted to Krishna than their own children. But then, this whole thing changed. When Brahma stole away those children and those calves, everybody became very, very attached to their own children, and the cows became very attached to their own calf. So in this context, Parikshit Maharaj asked this question. How did this happen? That Krishna, who is the center of everybody's existence in Vrindavan, they suddenly became attached to their own children. Please explain. So Shukadeva Goswami explains this, that actually there is no doubt that Krishna, so he explains this fundamental principle. First of all, he says that why this body is so dear to us. This body is very dear to us because we are thinking this to be the self. And actually, the whole reason is the self resides in this. Why your body is not very dear to me? Because my self is not residing, the soul is not residing in your body, my soul. That is not residing in your body. Because the self resides in this body becomes very dear to us. Actually, that is the reason. In our material condition, we are thinking, I am this body, I am the self. This body itself is the self, so that is why it is very dear. And then Shukadeva Goswami says, what is this self? Why the self is so dear? Self resides in the body, so the body is dear. Why the self is dear? Because the self is part and parcel of super self, Krishna. He is the Atma of the Atma. He is the soul of the soul. That is why actually everybody loves Krishna. Krishna is so dear. Why Krishna is so dear? Now you can understand. Because he is the soul of the soul. Soul is very dear. We are very, everybody likes himself. But he is the soul of the soul. So that is why the body is very, very dear to all of us. This body, which is very dear to all of us, is very difficult for us to neglect while we are serving others. We first want to take care of ourselves, isn't it? But here we find in spiritual life, one is ready to sacrifice everything, including the upkeep of his body, like Devahuti. So this is very important qualification. How disciple should serve the spiritual master. He should be ready to even take all kind of risk on his life to execute the orders of his spiritual master. So Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example. Prabhupada is saying in today's purport, actually this is called as selfless service. What Devahuti did was selfless service, not bothered about our own self, not bothered about comforts of this material body, just thinking about how to serve our superior. This should be actually the desire of a devotee. So in this regard, Prabhupada gives some very wonderful examples. How devotee is not thinking about getting anything, any kind of benediction from the Lord. He is just trying to serve the Lord with whatever best he can do, even neglecting his body. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a great devotee by name Ishana. So this Ishana, actually he was a servant of the Lord. He could have been benedicted, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually wanted to benedict him. That you take, just like we will find Kardama Muni benedicted, all kinds of material facilities he provided for Devahuti. But Ishana was such a great devotee of the Lord that when the Lord said, "My dear Ishana, take some benediction. I am seeing that you don't have even a roof on your house." He said, "My dear Lord, I do have." But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I am seeing that what is this roof you are having? It has so many holes. It is practically as good as no roof." So he said, "My dear Lord, actually I have so many things. At least I am having a roof. It may have holes. There are so many living entities that don't have even roof. When they are surviving, I cannot survive. Why do I require all those things?" So Prabhupada says this is called selfless service. One is ready to neglect the upkeep of this body. He is not bothered about his maintenance. He is more interested in serving the Lord. Prabhupada gives another wonderful example which we have heard many other times. This example is about how the devotees just want to give service. They don't want to take any service from the Lord, even for the upkeep of the body. Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they were in the forest. And Rupa Goswami desired that my spiritual master, my elder brother Sanatan Goswami, I want to serve him with good, nice feast. But then he started contemplating how to do this. We are all in the forest. Where I am going to get all these kinds of ingredients? It's not possible. So when he was contemplating like this, immediately one small girl came from a nearby village and she said, "Baba, in our house today we had a nice program, everything, and I have brought all these different kinds of items, ghee and whatever is required to cook a nice feast, she brought." And so Rupa Goswami was very happy that immediately those desires are fulfilled. And he cooked a nice feast, invited Sanatan Goswami, and Sanatan Goswami was also very happy. But then he was surprised. He said, "Where did you get all these ingredients from in this jungle?" So then Rupa Goswami started relating that I was thinking like this, where I am going to get. And then suddenly a small young girl came. And then Sanatan Goswami started inquiring how she was looking like, all the description Rupa Goswami gave. And then immediately Sanatana, he realized that it was none other but Srimati Radharani. Immediately he chastised Rupa Goswami. He said, we are meant to serve Srimati Radharani. We are meant to serve, not to take service from Srimati Radharani. You have taken service from her. This is not a quality of a devotee. So actually, this is how a devotee should be. He's not bothered about himself. He is more bothered about rendering service. And actually, that is why Krishna, he declares in Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, there is no other devotional service which can be greater than that practiced by the gopis in Vrindavan. You see? So much so, Krishna, in return of the devotional service rendered by the gopis, he is telling to them, my dear gopis, I have nothing to give you back. You see, when somebody becomes indebted, then we can give them back, right? But Krishna is saying the kind of devotional service which you have rendered, I cannot repay you back. It's not possible even for me to repay you back. Please be satisfied with your own service. This is the kind of service actually which we should be aspiring for. You see? That is the pinnacle of love of Godhead, the way in which the gopis served Krishna. So these are the kind of examples of selfless service one can render, and this is a great example which we can see that Devahuti completely neglected the upkeep of her own health, her own body, and served Kardama Muni selflessly. So we'll see more in the coming classes how Kardama Muni, after being satisfied, first of all gives her this realization of Abhayam, and then gives all kinds of material benedictions and satisfies her desires for many, many years to go in these material kinds of happiness. So we'll stop with this. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.